So I'm starting a new thing. I want to be able to backtest every week, and it's just going to be random months. Eventually go through this year, but we're not going to go through it like, in chronological order. We're just going to go through random months. So we'll start with July, which was last month. Uh, yeah, is that everything? Yeah, we'll start with July. So that's June, and per second. Oh. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so back, had to do something quickly. So break structure to the downside. This. So that's the break structure to the downside. Break structure to the upside. And then 2 pips from here. So I'm pretty sure what that'd be 2 pips, right? 2 pips. That should be 2 pips, I'm pretty sure. And then we'll do 2 pips would be here. And then check how far this is from 2 pips. Okay, that's 4. So I'm pretty sure that is 2 pips, right? That is 2 pips. Make sure that our thing stays there. And then we go for 1 to 2. Go from 1 to 2, and then order. Position size a lot. Rating 1%. Okay, cool. It's all in. So 8 pip, 8.2 stop loss, 16. Okay, cool. So that's actually correct. Save. Now we see how this plays out. Where's the thing? So we end the trade. So now test the lows. Trade it up. Okay. Stopped me out. Okay. So that would be 1 loss. Okay. So that's fine. So we have now minus $100. Mhm. 745. So we got break above now. Bullish candle. Check if this how far this is. 3 pips. Okay, so 2 pips is about here. So entry there. 66. So it'll be it'd be 86 stop loss, and then we set a limit here. And he says she changed it. Don't know why it didn't just auto risk. But okay. Whatever. Okay, so it's gone TP without me. Okay, cancel order. Because as I said, if it hits TP or it hits, yeah, if it hits TP without me, then cancel the limit manually. So yeah, that's thingy so far. I don't know if you lot can hear the music in the background, so I'm gonna pause it here and then listen back and see if you can hear the music in the background. Okay, it doesn't seem that to pick up the music, so that's good. So yeah, go on to Friday. So one trade lost and the other trade missed, but it did go to TP. But that's irrelevant because if we're not in it, doesn't matter. Okay, so these are the lows. These are the highs. So we see how it plays out. Still within this range. So I'll sort it a bit. So it's 12, 12's hit. It hasn't broken either side, so that's no trading day. So that's fine. So we'll pull this up to continue on to Monday. So yeah, break beneath, as you can see. So it's broken beneath there. And now what we want to see is either it breaks these highs or it breaks structure to the downside. Okay, so as you can see, it's tested these highs here. Now it's broken these highs. So that's this side. That's the break. Two pips would be here. 52, 72, and a 1 to 2 like that. Okay, cool. So that's all that. Now we play it on. Now we are in the trade. Price lost instantly. So we are at two losses. Three trades, well, two trades, two losses so far. Okay, so break structure downside, and then actually continued on. And I said that a lot in my live testing. Some majority of the time, I don't get the bias wrong. It's just my entry. But I feel that is the same with a lot of traders, so it doesn't really mean much. But yeah, we'll continue on. Okay, so London session, break a structure of the lows, as you can see here. Okay, so low create new high. So 2 pips is there. It's so hot as well. Doing this is just so long. It should even froze them. Okay, that like that. Order. Remember, 6 pips and then 12. Yeah. So that like that. That's lost as well. So three losses back to back so far. And it does the same thing it did before. Oh, broke the most recent low, tested this low, and then continued up. So as you can see, there's very much consistency in my losses. And if I keep seeing that happen across when I'm back testing, then I'll know to put my low below the previous, or it could be something I look into instead of putting my low to the most recent low, or when I'm selling my stop loss to the most recent high, put it to the high that actually is the breaker structure, or put it to the low that is the actual breaker structure. But then again, I think that would mess up my R to R. So for example, let's say I've entered here, it's 84 would be my stop loss, and then I wanted to, wouldn't even hit, you know? So just gotta take the good with the bad. Okay, okay, so this is the high of the Asian session. It's being above in London session. So we've got a break. Two bearish candles, three bearish candles, bullish candle. So I enter. This is a trade I actually took on Friday last week. Yeah, the Friday that's just gone. So, and that one lost. So this will be interesting. So 49. One to two. And that should be less than 2 pips away. Yeah. Minus 0.6. Okay, order. Same stop loss as well. It's crazy. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I'm scrolling it. I didn't realize. That was that was risky. You get out of there. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how this one plays out. Oh, yeah. Did the same thing did on Friday. So another loss. But on Friday it also did go to TP. So no, this one just doesn't. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Yeah. So that's that. That's Friday. That's Wednesday. So at three losses so far. Three losses. Not a single win. Mm, 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 mm. And this is just how I backtest and see if things will work or see what will work and what won't work. You know, based on the stats right now, it looks like it might not work. But everything in life is all about time. Time will tell. Okay, no breaks to the upside or downside. That candle didn't even break. Yeah, so no trade on Thursday. Now we're on to Friday. So let's see what Friday's saying. Oh, what time is this? 4? Okay, play it on a bit. 9:45. Okay. Did that break beneath? No. It's really struggling to break beneath. Okay, yeah, we get no break. So yeah, no break beneath on Thursday or Friday. But down minus 255 so far. So seems like everyone wants to play music today on this Saturday. So just music everywhere getting played. So if you hear it, just know why. Oh, didn't mean to do that. 7:55. Okay, a break above, and then a bearish candle. Okay, so we got a bearish candle, we got a bullish candle breaking structure, bearish candle, and then a bullish candle above going up above the previous bearish. So do that like that. Stop loss would be here, 55, so 75 stop loss. Order. 18, 16. Okay, see how this plays out. Well, why is it freezing? Oh, that's annoying. So yeah, didn't hit TP either. So two trades now that would have hit TP, gone without hitting the limit. And that is kind of why backtesting is annoying, because in real life markets, majority of the time I do enter manually. I don't know why it's freezing so much. My Wi-Fi is really bad, to be fair. No, it seems like it's alright to do. But yeah, there's a lot of trades that I would enter manually that on backtesting you can't really enter manually, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. You know, backtesting is just like a good way to see if what you're doing consistently is going to work or not in the long run. That's just how I see it personally. So we've got this bullish candle breaking this structure here of Asia session, bearish candle, and then another bullish followed up by another bullish candle. So the same stuff here, and this is in the way, that there. And then entry could be there, because I know that's less than 2 pips. 36 or 56. And then take profit of 2R. Add order. Now we're in the trade. Big bullish candle, bullish candle, big bullish candle. Break structure to the downside, setting up a loss. And then it goes on to TP. Crazy stuff. So we're halfway through the month. We're on the 15th so far. Yeah, 15th so far. So we've got no breaks of the highs or lows so far. The lows would that would be the low, and then the highs obviously up there. Okay, is that a break of the low? I have to mark it across to be fair. Not yet. Tested it though. Yeah, now we got a break of the low. Okay, so we got this with price action. Got this bullish up, bearish candle, and then a bearish candle moving like that. So 36. That become 56. Oh yeah, let's change that risk to reward. And this is me trading the strategy like as raw as possible. So no, oh, does that look right? Or does that, none of that. It's just trading based on my rules, and that is it. Okay, so this trade would have entered and lost instantly. So another loss. So we're at minus 3.3% so far. So I've taken a lot of losses, but I'm only at minus 3.3%, right? Yeah, which to me is not that bad, to be fair. You know, a lot of profitable strategies as well doesn't necessarily come from their winners. It comes from them having, well, it does come from their winners because you can't be profitable without wins, but it comes from the losses, how small their losses are to their winners. So I've taken, I don't know how many trades yet, we can check that after, but we've taken a lot of losses. But because of my exit system, I can afford to take a lot of losses without being in that much drawdown. Is that a break? No, not yet. Break beneath now. Okay, bullish candle, break beneath. So now we've got a break beneath. Okay, so now we got a thing there. 2 pips. Okay, 2 pips be 2. So we could have just entered. Because of where 2 pips would have been, we could have just entered manually, type of thing. So 1 to 2, 42 be 62. Yeah, 62. And then a 1 to 2 would be like that. Oh, order. Would it need to be at 8 pip stop loss? Didn't think it would be, but okay. So it'd be like that type of thing. And then, wow. Wow. Really? So if I would have entered this manually because it was 2 pips out anyway. So that would have hit, but that's okay. And that would have brought us up to just minus 1%. Crazy. Would have wondered where was that entered from? Be there. So 1 to 3, would that have hit? Let me check. 64. So let's say 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 would have hit as well, which is good to see. But we can just not count that one. Let's just go off the back tested results and not be like, oh yeah, I would have entered this and I'd enter that. Because then, that does confuse the stats and stuff. So yeah, we're not going to do that. So 17th. Okay. London session high. Has it taken, what would I say it's taken highs? I feel like it's a double top. Yeah, double top. Not taking the highs in my opinion. Okay, definitely taking the lows now. So it took the lows here, created this high, and then created the break structure again to the downside. It's so delayed and laggy. My Wi-Fi is horrible. Oh my god. 2 pips there. So it'd be like that, 69. So it'd be 89, like that. Target. Order. 9. Yeah. So 10 pips. Didn't think it'd be 10 pips to be fair, but okay. We'll input that anyway. Why is it? Okay, 20. So confused. Alright, cool. Would have tagged me in. Nope, TP would have hit though. See, really and truly, 2 pips away. I wouldn't have had a limit for that. I'd have entered. So when it got to about here, I'd have entered. Like this candle here. I'd have just entered. So that's what possible 4 wins this month that I could have been in, type of thing. So it just goes to show that back-tested results are a good way of seeing if you had limits set or if you entered as mechanical as possible, how much you could make or how much, do you know what I'm saying? That your true strategy, if you was to enter as mechanical as possible, but because we are humans, we don't always enter as mechanical as possible, you know? Sometimes you FOMO into a trade, sometimes you enter a bit earlier than you should have, you know? I wouldn't say FOMO into a trade or entering into a trade too early or earlier than your strategy says to enter is necessarily a bad thing. It's only if you've got the data for it. If you haven't got the data for it, then obviously it is a bad thing, you know? Like if you want to FOMO into a trade, FOMO into a trade. If you want to enter earlier than you're supposed to, then do so if you've got the stats behind you. Say you can enter early and you can still win. You know, if you want to trade US session, but you shouldn't be because you should only be trading London session, you can trade US session. You know, if you've got stats that say you can actually win in US session, then why not? Maybe a one-off, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, yeah, you can follow your rules to a book, like you can follow your rules and all that stuff, but if you feel like, oh no, today you're gonna win for whatever reason, I'd say just take the trade, personally, you know? But just understand that if you lose because you traded outside of your hours or you lose because you FOMOed into a trade, that is all on you, you know? And if you're willing to accept that, like, okay, cool, if I lose this trade, I know I did something stupid anyway. You know, FOMO into this trade. If I lose, it is what it is. If you go in with that mindset, then I don't see the problem in that. You know, you're taking accountability for what you did and you're going to do it. So I don't see the problem in that. Okay, so we got a win. Okay, now we want to see if that win from where we entered would hit our 1 to 3 as well. Where did I enter again? So there, 22, 42, 2 restored. So 1 to 3 would be there. Okay, so 1 to 3 would have hit as well. So go to notes. July 2026 results for 1 to 3 strat. 1 to 3 would have hit on Monday 20th July. And that's how we're gonna journal it. I'm not gonna back test a 1 to 2 and then do a 1 to 3 after because that's just so long. I ain't with all of that. What I'll do is I'll write it down in notes. If the 1 to 2, oh, fuck's sake, what's going on? If the 1 to 2 wins, I don't know what is going on now. What the fuck is this? Now I'm supposed to just guess the day? What the fuck? Uh, 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 uh. Oh, we're in London. Oh my god. We just missed out on this trade. Have we? No, we haven't. It didn't even break structure. Oh, okay. So cool, we're cool, we're cool, we're cool. Okay, data break structure. Let's structure. No, not broke structure yet. Broken structure now. So broke structure here. This is weird. Weird price action. So like that structure there. Structure like this is just ugly. Like it's just wicks. But I'm gonna keep following my rules because I want you lot to see that I'm not trying to tailor nothing or change too much, and you know that simple shit can make you profitable. 48, 68. Always want to give it that 2 pip leeway just in case you've got bad spreads or you're with a prop firm that's got shit spreads or um just yeah, like they slip you or whatever. 7 pips, 14 pips, save. Oh, would have lost so quick. That's okay. So we're not gonna journal the trades that the 1 to 3 would have lost because it would just be the same as the 1 to 2. You know, if the 1 to 2 would have lost, the 1 to 3 would have lost because obviously they would have had the same stop loss, same entry, just different take profits happening. So not too bad. Okay, what time are we at? 7:35. Is that a break? Yeah, it is. Okay, so we've got a break here. Bearish candle, 2 bearish candles, 3. Another bearish candle. Break shot drop. So now we want to enter here. Oh, wrong thing. I think that is less than 2 pips. Oh no, it's about 27. Oh, okay. So there. 58, so 78. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we'll see how this plays out. Limit's been hit. Tested the highs. Consolidating around TP, and TP hits. 2. Okay. So extend this to 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1 to 3 would have hit. 1 to 3 would have hit on, what's this, Wednesday? Wednesday, 22nd of July. So I had back-to-back winners. Okay. And if you're not realizing, but as you can see, when my 1 to 2s hit, 1 to 3 normally hits as well. So if that stays consistent over a period of a year, over 50 trades, then clearly cut out the 1 to 2 and go for the 1 to 3 because my losses are going to remain the same. So it's about, okay, if your losses are going to remain the same, if you're trading it the same way, and let's say you lose 10 trades. If I lose 10 trades on a 1 to 2, I'm going to lose 10 trades on 1 to 3. There's nothing I can change about that. That's just what I've got to accept, right? But if now when I win, I can gain an extra R just by changing my profit target, not change anything else, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. So 8 a.m., that's the low, okay. The broken structure, I'd say that's still the low there. It's still, I wouldn't say it's broken it. Okay, it's broken it now. Bullish candle, bullish. Bullish candle, bearish candle. You know the vibe. Do that like that. Is this 2 pips? Yeah, that's about 2 pips. So I'd say, what, stop loss? Stop loss 59.79 then. 79 stop loss, 1 to 2, like that. Order. Yeah, that's all right. Instant loss, and it's broken this low as well, which is good. So it's broken both lows. So I know that I was just wrong with that trade. That's fine. I'd rather that. See, yeah, I was just wrong with that trade. That's cool. So the 1 to 2 would have lost, 1 to 3 would have lost. I ain't tripping. So at minus 48, and you'll see how many trades I've won compared to how many I've lost, and you'll see that win rate really means nothing. People say, oh, you need this win rate to have break even, you need this win rate to be profitable. But that's based on if when you lose what you're supposed to be risking, right? So if you're risking 1% and you lose the whole 1%, if you win and you win the whole 2%, then of course, yeah, that's when win rate plays a factor. Yes, you need this win rate to be profitable because that's just simple maths. But when you have a strategy like this, where you close at breaker structures, you close at whatever, you see reversals and you close in profit and you accept, okay, it's not going to hit 2%, it's consolidating around TP, so I'm going to close it here. When you do things like that, I think win rate plays less of a factor, in my opinion. You know, we can agree to disagree, but I don't think win rate personally is for everyone. I think win rate only applies to people that have an entry model where they either close it, they don't manually close it, they enter a trade and they leave it. It either hits stop loss or hits take profit. That's when win rate matters. Trading like that, your win rate's going to need to matter because you're losing what you initially set out to risk every trade. So of course your win rate's going to matter because that's just simple maths. If you're losing one every time you're trying to gain three, yes, your win rate's going to matter. But when you trade like this, to me, I don't care for my win rate, to be honest. You know, the whole point of this is to make money, and money isn't made by your win rate. You know, money's by just making sure that when you do win, you win more than you lose. And if you can cut your losses early, it's way better for when you win. You know, we'll check how many losses I had and compared to how many wins I had, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, another loss, $60. So minus 1% now. That's fine. Oh, that's not some nice structure to the downside. The cells, that'd been nice, you know. But once I get familiar with this strategy, then I can start doing things like entering twice in a day and stuff, you know. Like for example, there, it broke structure to the downside, so I could enter on that, you know. Or it might just be something I never do, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. It just might be something I won't do. Because I like the idea of I can lose in 1 to 2 minutes and just be done for the day, you know. Like I took a trade on Friday and I lost within 2, 3 minutes of entering the trade. I was on the charts for 3 minutes and I already lost. To a lot of people, they like trading, they like to always be on the charts, always be on the trade. But for me, I just like to get trading over and done with. You know, I'm trying to make money or lose money and just keep it moving. I'm not trying to be sat on the charts looking at it all day, to be honest. Like, I'm not that way inclined. You know, I'm not here to enjoy trading. I'm not here to have fun on the charts. I'm here to make money or lose money. So if you're telling me I've lost money doing what I'm supposed to do in 3 minutes or whatever, okay, cool. I can go back to bed or go do something else, you know? I'm not just going to carry on sitting here looking for another trade to make the money back. No, got tomorrow. You know, we got time. Time is always on your side in trading, you know? So you ain't got to rush nothing. So TP would have hit. Okay, let me cancel this limit before it does get hit. Okay, so that'd be the 1 to 2 that would have got hit. Yeah, probably entered that manually. Okay, 1 to 3. Let's see if 1 to 3 would have got hit. So 1 to 3 would have got hit. See, so the 1 to 2, 1 to 3, when they seem to win, they win at the same time. There's not one trade so far that's gone to 1 to 2 without 1 to 3 yet. So very, very interesting. Some very, very interesting thing to look into, you know, for the upcoming weeks. But yeah, we are now at 28th of July. I might backtest another one later on today. Depends how I'm feeling and like how hot it is, because right now I'm just sweating doing this. So I'm probably gonna get in the shower after this because I'm too hot. This weather is crazy. Okay. Uh, Break to the downside, yep. Nice. So this is the bullish candle, bearish candle. 24. So 44. 1 to 2. 10. Okay. See how this plays out. I don't even know why I put it 50%. Oops, Jesus. So I lost instantly. See, it's very rare that any of my trades ever hit full stop loss because they break structure, if that makes sense. Like, because they do break structure, I manually exit, and you've seen me manually, like in live trades, manually exit because it broke a structure. So not a lot of trades do hit my stop loss. And it might be I'm saving myself a 0.10%, it might be saving myself a 0.3%, 0.5%, or whatever. But think of it like this: if I'm saving myself 0.10%, right? That's 0.10% profit I'm getting off every loss. If you risk £100, right, and you're able to now only spend £90, you've pocketed yourself £10 because that extra 10 would have gone to losing, but you've pocketed it. So when you win now, after you've just lost, you've won 2%, so you've gained $200 on top of the $10 you've saved from the previous trade. And if you do that over a period of time, you'll see the profit margins will go crazy. The profit margins will go crazy. And on a 10K account, you're not going to really see, oh, $10, it's not that deep, like saving yourself $10 per trade. Now, if you've got a 100K account, that's $100. If you've got a million in an account, that's an extra 1,000 you've just saved yourself. You know, that extra 10 pip, that extra 1 pip you saved yourself, the extra 10 pips you saved yourself, you know, across numerous trades. If you're saving yourself 1 pip across 10 losses and you're able to save yourself 5 pips this trade, 3 pips this trade, two trades, this 2 pips this trade, by the end of the month, you could have saved yourself 40 pips in just stop losses. Just saved yourself 40 pips. Now, if you're on a 10K, if you're on a 100K account, saving yourself 40 pips is the equivalent of saving yourself 4 grand. Now, who wouldn't want to save 4 grand? You know, like 4 grand. And then if you're looking at it from a mil in funding, you would have saved yourself 40K in just being able to close out and accept your fate and just understand, yeah, I'm wrong, you know? So look how big my stop loss is, right? Take profit is very high up as well, but it's a 1 to 2. Okay, now if we play this on and it's lost, $17 I lose. $17. Let's round that to $20, yeah? I've now saved myself 0.8 pips in losses. 0.8 pips. So I saved myself $80. Saved myself $800 on 100K. Saved myself 8 grand on a 1 million account. And that's how you have to always think about it. Don't go off your balance. Oh, it's only $8 I saved myself because I've got a small account. Or it's only $20 or whatever because it's a small account. Think about it of where you want to get to, not where you are now. You know, and that's how I always see things. Oh, okay, I caught 1 to 3. Okay. I'm not looking at it as, oh, it's only $300. I'm looking at it as like, okay, this week I made 6%. If I was on a mill, this would be a crazy week. You know, this would be a 60 grand week. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes me happy. That's what makes me proud. Because I'm not looking at the profits I'm making. I'm looking at the profits I should and the profits I could be making based on trading the way I'm trading. type of thing. And it's like, for a dream to become a reality or anything like that, then you have to always think about where you want to be, not where you are now. Think about where you want to be and then compare it. Okay, this is where I want to be. How am I going to get there? And how you are now should obviously be how you are now should be going towards where you want to be, right? So me backtesting is me seeing where I want to be. Okay, this is me backtesting on a 10K account. Okay, so I'm looking at the balance, 9.8K, but on 100K this would be 98. You know, this would be minus 1,830. Okay, on a mil, it would be, do you know what I'm saying, X amount, and that's how I see it, type of thing, because that's where I want to be. So that's how I always base my trading. 92, so 102, 102, and 112. So what's that, like a 12-pip stop loss? And then take profit be 24. And remember, trading this way, this is as raw as can be, type of thing. Oh, 13-pip stop loss. Oh, okay. And then what's the take profit? This is that trading as raw as can be. So obviously, as time progresses, I'm gonna understand. Okay, this setup tends to lose majority of the time. This setup tends to lose majority of the time, or whatever. And then from that, I'll be able to. Oh, that is annoying. Look how close it was to TP. You know, but it's just what it is. But yeah, as time goes on, I can understand. Okay, this setup tends to lose. Okay, these days are my least profitable, and so on. So we're at 30th of July. Yeah, we're at 30th of July. So now we can go back and view session analytics. So we would have ended the month in minus $248, which is 2.49%. Win rate of 14%. So my win rate would have been 14%, and I've only ended in minus 2%, right? 2 wins, 12 losses, which is crazy that my 2 wins was able to hold me up for that long. And what's crazy is if I was trading on 1 to 3, I'd actually be in profit because these 2 wins would have been extra 1R, so it would have been break even near enough. Average duration of trade, 2 hours and 16 minutes, which is great. I like quick wins and quick losses. 2.7%. Average win, 2.05%. Fine. Average loss. This is a key factor that people don't look at. Total losers is 12. Worst loss is 1%. So the worst trade I had was the one that hit max SL, but my average loss is 0.55%. So if my average loss is 0.55% and my average win is 2.05%, that says my average loss is what, 4 times less my take profit. So that's the equivalent to like a 1 to 4 if you look at it in ratio wise, right? Which is crazy because I'm risking 1% and I'm averagely only losing half. So that's what allows me to take so many losses. Max consecutive losses, 6. Average consecutive losses, 4. So I normally have 4 in a row, but the max I've ever had is 6 in a row. So this is why win rate to me doesn't really matter and doesn't really say anything for the way I trade personally, because if you're trading risking 1% and you're someone that waits for it to hit stop loss or take profit, then that does matter because max average consecutive losses, if you're risking 1% to gain 2% or 3%, this would have been minus 6%. Average consecutive losses, you would have lost 4%. But because my average loss is 0.55%, I didn't lose that much. Average duration of a loss is 42 minutes, which is very good because it means I lose quickly. So I don't have to be in the markets for hours or so long like I would previously, in trades for 7 hours and 6 hours and 5 hours. Now only my average win is 2 hours and my average was 42 minutes. That's fine. I don't mind that. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. Fucking hell. Total trades, 4 sells, 10 buys, not really much information for that, really. Over time, it will show if I win more buys or sells. But yeah, these are my stats so far for this month. Go to drawdown. Max drawdown 3.4%, not too bad. Time to recover 10 days. Drawdown frequency 2. I don't actually know what this means. How many times your account has gone into. Oh, okay. How many times your account goes into drawdown? Okay. Average drawdown on equity 2.99%. So average drawdown, max drawdown is the equivalent of just winning 2 trades, and I'm fine. So 1 to 3, I'd be cool. So that's the first month we back tested. I'm gonna back test some more later on. I just need to wait for the weather to cool down because it is too hot in my room. So yeah, I'm gonna back test maybe June next, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna back test that. But yeah, that is how I back test, and this is me back testing my strategy. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing it month by month, and we'll see the overall results. But yeah, so far, nothing to really complain about.